2,300 people in Colorado had their credit card information skimmed at local gas station pumps. And tonight, investigators say it's all the work of an interstate crime ring.
Your credit card never left your wallet. So how did they steal $3,000? Wireless skimming is spreading faster than anyone realizes. In 2024, the FTC reported over $437 million lost to contactless theft schemes most victims never saw coming. Today, we're exposing 12 wireless scams draining accounts right now, and what to watch for before your balance disappears. Coming in at number 12, the gas pump Bluetooth skimmer. You swipe your card at the pump. The screen says authorizing for just a second longer than usual. You don't think twice. But inside that gas pump, a tiny Bluetooth device is already transmitting your card number, PIN, and security code to a thief sitting in a car across the street. The entire setup fits in the palm of a hand and installs in under 2 minutes. According to FICO, over 60,000 gas pumps were compromised with wireless skimmers in 2023 alone. Victims reported noticing fraudulent charges days later, sometimes across multiple states. Here's what gas stations won't tell you. Those security seals on the pump door, they're designed to break if tampered with, but scammers are using heat guns to peel them off cleanly and reapply them after installing the device. Your bank assumes you authorized every charge at the pump. They won't refund you unless you can prove the skimmer was there. That's why this simple check matters. Before you insert your card, look at the security seal on the pump door. If it's torn, discolored, or says void, walk away and pay inside. And if gas pumps feel unsafe now, wait until you hear what's happening with payment apps. At number 11, here's the scam targeting grandparents and busy parents everywhere. Your phone buzzes. It's a Venmo request from someone claiming to be your grandson. The message says, emergency car repair, need $800 now. The profile picture looks right. The urgency feels real. You tap approve before you realize the account isn't his. It's a clone profile using his name and an old photo pulled from social media. The money transfers instantly and disappears into an untraceable account within minutes. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center recorded over $3.5 billion in losses from payment app fraud in 2024. Most victims said they never questioned the request because it came from a familiar name. And here's the part that destroys families. The real grandson gets blamed. Parents assume he lied about the emergency. The scammer gets away clean while relationships collapse. The app companies claim they warned you not to send money to strangers, but they designed the interface to make approving payments as frictionless as possible. Here's the fix. Before you approve any payment request, call the person directly using a number you already have saved. Don't trust the profile, don't trust the message, trust the voice on the other end. That scam requires you to act, but the next one doesn't even need you to touch your phone. Sliding in at number 10, RFID skimming in public spaces. You're standing in line at the airport, someone bumps into you from behind, you feel nothing, but in that half second, their phone just scanned every contactless card in your wallet. The technology is called RFID. Radio frequency identification. It's the same wireless signal that lets you tap your card to pay. And scammers can capture it from up to 4 inches away using a device that looks exactly like a smartphone. Security researchers demonstrated at DEF CON that these scanners cost less than $50 online and require zero technical skill to use. One test pulled card numbers from over 30 people in a crowded subway car in under 3 minutes. What credit card companies don't advertise is this. Those tap-to-pay cards broadcast your data constantly. You don't need to authorize it. You don't need to know it's happening. And here's the hidden consequence. Most victims never notice until the fraudulent charges appear weeks later. By then, the thief is long gone and the trail is cold. Your card issuer will tell you it's secure, but they won't reimburse you if they decide you were negligent about protecting your information. That's why RFID blocking wallets exist. They cost $10 and stop every wireless signal. If you carry contactless cards, this isn't optional anymore. And this same wireless technology is being weaponized at ATMs in ways that look completely legitimate. At number 9, we're back at the ATM, but this time the threat is invisible. You walk up to the machine, you insert your card, the screen says, processing. Everything looks normal. It isn't. A paper-thin Bluetooth overlay is sitting perfectly flush over the real card slot. It's 3D printed to match the exact color and texture of the machine, and it's transmitting your card data wirelessly to a laptop parked a block away. The Secret Service confirmed that over $1.8 billion was stolen through wireless ATM skimmers in 2023. Victims described the devices as undetectable. Even bank employees walked past them for days without noticing. Here's the betrayal nobody talks about. Banks install ATMs in high-traffic areas and promise they're monitored 24/7. But the surveillance footage is only reviewed after someone reports fraud. By then, the skimmer is gone, and most people don't realize this. If you withdraw cash using a compromised ATM, the bank blames you for choosing an unsafe location. They won't refund the stolen money unless you can prove the device was there. This next step takes 5 seconds and could save your account. Before inserting your card, run your finger along the edges of the card slot. If you feel any raised edges, seams, or loose plastic, walk away immediately and report it. But at least ATMs are visible. The next scam hides in the one place you trust completely. Want to stay ahead of wireless scams before they drain your account? Subscribe now so you don't miss the next warning. These threats are evolving faster than banks can respond, and we're tracking everyone. Coming in at number 8, the fake Wi-Fi network scam. You're sitting in an airport terminal. You open your phone and see free airport Wi-Fi in the network list. You connect without thinking. That's the mistake. What you just connected to isn't the airport. It's a scammer's phone configured as a wireless hotspot. Every website you visit, every password you type, every banking app you open, all of it is being recorded in real time. Cybersecurity firm Wandera found that over 25% of public Wi-Fi networks in airports and coffee shops are fake honeypots designed to harvest login credentials. Most people never notice because the internet works perfectly. And here's the part that makes it devastating. The scammer doesn't just steal your current session. They install invisible malware that tracks every future transaction you make, even on secure networks at home. The Wi-Fi provider claims they're not responsible for third-party networks. The airport says they warned you on a sign somewhere, and your bank refuses to cover unauthorized transfers because you gave them access. That's why this rule exists. Never connect to public Wi-Fi without a VPN, a virtual private network that encrypts everything you send. If you don't have one, don't check your bank account in public, ever. And if you think fake networks are bad, wait until you see what's happening to the payment terminals you trust every day. Has this ever happened to you at an airport or coffee shop? Drop your story below. At number 7, here's the scam hiding at farmers markets and small businesses. You're buying fresh produce at a local stand. The vendor says, just tap your card here. You do. The charge goes through, but your money didn't go to the farmer. The payment terminal sitting on that table isn't legitimate. It's a modified NFC reader that looks identical to the real thing. It charges your card, shows a fake approved message, and forwards your card details to the scammer while giving the vendor a fraction of the payment. Payment processing experts revealed that these fake terminals are flooding online marketplaces for less than $150 each. They're pre-programmed to mimic Square, Stripe, and PayPal readers perfectly. What small businesses don't realize is this: the scammer poses as a payment processing rep and offers them a better rate if they swap out their current reader. The vendor thinks they're upgrading. They're actually helping steal from their own customers. And here's the hidden cost. When customers dispute the charges, the small business gets blamed and loses the money twice. Once to the scammer, and again to the chargeback. Your card network promises fraud protection, but they won't cover transactions you willingly tapped to authorize. They call it user error and close the case. Before you tap any payment terminal, ask the vendor if it's their official device. If they hesitate or seem confused, pay cash. It's not rude, it's protection. It gets worse. The next scam doesn't even need you to make a purchase. Sliding in at number 6, the Bluetooth pairing attack. You're sitting in a parking lot. Your phone buzzes with a notification. Bluetooth pairing request from AirPods Pro. You think someone nearby is trying to connect their headphones. You tap decline. But that single tap just gave a hacker permission to send you a malicious file. It installs silently in the background, and within minutes, it's scraping every saved password, banking credential, and two-factor authentication code from your phone. Researchers at the University of California demonstrated that this attack works on over 80% of smartphones with Bluetooth enabled. The malware can even record your banking app activity in real time and send screenshots to the attacker. Here's what phone manufacturers don't advertise. Bluetooth is designed to pair automatically with devices it recognizes, but scammers can spoof those device names to trick your phone into thinking it's connecting to something you own. And most people never notice until their accounts are completely drained. The malware deletes itself after transmitting your data, leaving no trace of what happened. Your phone carrier will tell you it's a third-party app issue. Apple and Google will say you must have clicked on something suspicious. But the attack never required you to download anything. Turn off Bluetooth when you're not actively using it. That's the only prevention that works. If you're in public and see a random pairing request, don't touch it. Power off your phone immediately and reset your passwords on a secure network. And just when you think you're being careful, the next scam makes convenience itself the weapon. At number 5, here's one most people still fall for: fake QR codes. You park at a downtown meter. There's a sticker with a QR code that says "Tap to pay parking here." You scan it with your phone. The website looks official. You enter your card details and hit submit. The payment went through, but not to the city. That QR code was printed on a fake sticker placed over the real one. Your card information just went straight to a scammer's server overseas. The Better Business Bureau reported over $280 million in losses from QR code scams in 2024 alone. Victims said the fake codes were placed on parking meters, restaurant tables, charity donation posters, and even flyers at bus stops. What makes this scam so effective is this: QR codes are intentionally unreadable by humans. You can't verify where they lead until after you've scanned them. By then, it's too late. And here's the betrayal cities won't admit. They know scammers are replacing legitimate QR codes with fake ones, but they claim it's too expensive to monitor every meter and sign daily. Your payment app will log the transaction as authorized. The bank will refuse to reverse it, and the scammer disappears before you realize what happened. Here's the fix: never scan a QR code on a sticker in public. If a parking meter or restaurant has a QR code, type the website URL manually instead. It takes 10 extra seconds and could save you thousands. That scam requires you to act, but the next one targets the apps you already trust. Do you think banks actually protect customers, or just themselves? At number 4, here's the scam targeting digital wallet users. Your phone rings. The caller ID says Apple support. The voice on the other end says there's been suspicious activity on your Apple Pay account, and they need to verify your identity to stop unauthorized charges. They ask you to read back the 6-digit code that just appeared in a text message. The moment you say it out loud, they're in. That code wasn't for verification. It was the two-factor authentication reset for your entire Apple ID. The FBI's IC3 unit reported over $580 million stolen through digital wallet takeovers in 2023. Most victims said they never suspected the call was fake because the caller knew their name, phone number, and recent purchase history. Here's the technique scammers are using. They already have your email and password from an old data breach. All they need is that two-factor authentication code to take complete control of your Apple Pay, Google Pay, and every saved card inside. And here's the hidden consequence nobody warns you about. Once they're in, they can lock you out of your own account and drain every linked bank account before you can contact support. Apple and Google promise bank-level security, but they won't reimburse stolen funds if they determine you voluntarily provided the access code. They call it user error and close the case. The fix is simple. No legitimate company will ever call you and ask for a verification code. If someone asks for it, even if the caller ID looks real, hang up immediately and call the company back using the number on their official website. But even if you protect your phone, the next scam hits where you feel safest: your hotel room. Sliding in at number 3, this one hits closer to home. You check into a hotel. You connect to the Hotel Guest Wi-Fi network. You open your laptop and book a flight for tomorrow. The payment goes through. But 3 days later, your credit card is maxed out. What you didn't know is this: the hotel's Wi-Fi network was compromised weeks ago by hackers who installed packet-sniffing malware on the router. Every transaction you made was captured in plain text and sold on the dark web within hours. Cybersecurity firm Symantec found that over 40% of hotel Wi-Fi networks have been breached at some point without the hotel ever knowing. Guests' banking sessions, credit card numbers, and login credentials are harvested automatically and stored on offshore servers. Here's what hotels will never admit: they use cheap, outdated routers with default passwords to save money on IT costs. Once hackers breach one property, they often have access to the entire chain's network, and most victims don't discover the theft until weeks later when mysterious charges appear from foreign countries. By then, the hotel claims it's not their responsibility and refers you to your credit card company. Your bank will ask if you used a secure network. When you say the hotel Wi-Fi, they'll deny your fraud claim and call it negligence. Here's the only prevention that works: never make purchases or access banking apps on hotel Wi-Fi. Use your phone's cellular data instead, or bring a travel VPN router. It's the only way to guarantee your data stays encrypted. And if you think hotels are risky, the next scam proves even trusted payment apps can betray you. At number 2, here's the scam destroying small sellers and freelancers everywhere. You sell a laptop on Facebook Marketplace. The buyer says they'll pay via Zelle. The payment notification appears on your phone. You see the money in your account. You hand over the laptop. 2 days later, the payment reverses and your balance goes negative. What happened is this: the buyer used a stolen bank account to send the payment. When the real account holder reported it as fraud, Zelle automatically reversed the transaction and withdrew the money from your account. You lost the laptop and the cash. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau recorded over $870 million in peer-to-peer payment scams in 2024. Most victims were individuals selling items online or freelancers receiving payment for services. Here's the betrayal these apps won't say out loud. Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App have zero seller protection. Once you receive a payment and deliver the goods, you're on your own. If the transaction reverses, they take the money back from you and close the case. And here's the hidden devastation. The reversal often triggers overdraft fees, negative balances, and even frozen accounts while the platform investigates. Some victims reported being locked out of their own money for weeks. The apps promise instant, secure payments, but they're designed to protect the sender, not you. If something goes wrong, you absorb 100% of the loss. The only fix is this: never accept peer-to-peer payments from strangers. If you're selling online, require cash in person or use platforms with buyer and seller protection like PayPal Goods and Services. It costs a small fee, but it's the only way to avoid getting scammed twice. And this brings us to the #1 wireless scam spreading fastest right now. Coming in at #1, the SIM swap attack. You're at home. Your phone suddenly loses signal, no calls, no texts, just no service on the screen. You assume it's a network outage. It's not. A scammer just called your phone carrier, pretended to be you, and convinced them to transfer your phone number to a new SIM card in their possession. And now they're using your number to reset every password, drain every bank account, and steal every digital wallet you own. The Federal Trade Commission reported over $1.1 billion stolen through SIM swap attacks in 2023. Victims described watching their accounts empty in real time while being completely locked out of their own phone number. Here's how it works. Scammers gather personal details about you from data breaches, social media, and public records. Then they call your carrier and claim they lost their phone and need to activate a new SIM. Most carriers approve it with just a date of birth and billing address. And here's the part that destroys lives. Once they control your phone number, they can bypass two-factor authentication on every account. Banks send the reset codes to your number. Email providers do the same. Within minutes, they have access to everything. Your phone carrier will say they followed proper verification procedures. Your bank will claim you're responsible because the authentication codes were sent to your registered number. Nobody takes accountability. The fix requires action right now. Call your carrier and add a PIN or password that's required for any SIM changes. It's called a port freeze or SIM lock. Without this, your number can be stolen in under 5 minutes. These scams are spreading faster than anyone realizes, and they're targeting the wireless technology you use every day. Your best defense isn't better apps or stronger passwords, it's awareness. In our next video, we expose how scammers are hijacking smart home devices to drain bank accounts from inside your own house. Don't miss it. Subscribe now and protect yourself before it's too late.